Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. It's another video from me today. It's a bit of a different one slightly. We're sort of reacting to comments made by, still a player, but he's out on loan. But let's wait and see how this one pans out. Give me your thoughts on the topics we discuss in the comments there below. But first of all, some sort of just news on Burnley's Lyle Foster, South African forward, has obviously been taken out of Burnley's squad for the time being. Mental health issues have seemed to have caught up with Lyle Foster. So I'm calling out to people on here on this platform if they are struggling with mental health or things like that. Speak up about it and make sure you're well and okay. And if you're not, make sure that there are people there to who can give you the help needed. So speak up about it if you're feeling low mentally. It's very important, and all the best to Lyle Foster, who has spoken out about his struggles with his mental health, and Burnley have done the right thing and put him in contact with some professionals. So get help if you need it. So we're looking at a video now on Brenden Aaronson, who has been speaking to The Athletic in the last few days about his time with Leeds United last season, and does he think that he still has a future at Leeds? Now, I want to pose that question to the fans yourselves, anybody watching in the comments there below, what your thoughts are on Brenden Aaronson. It was an article with The Athletic. Basically, he says he doesn't think it's done and dusted. He loves Leeds. Apparently, that's what he said to the man who was, or the person who was interviewing him in Berlin last week. Sometime hasn't worked for Aaronson in Berlin so far. Only 12 appearances, 11, I think 11, 12 appearances in all. He came off the bench for the final 11 minutes or so against Napoli in the Champions League in midweek. It was a game that stopped a run of 12 straight defeats for Union Berlin, who had a fantastic season last season. Not so much this time. As Fischer, I think, has money in the bank. He is not under pressure at all. He has done great things for their club. But Aaronson, yeah, he said it's not done and dusted. He loves Leeds and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, for me, I wouldn't. He's the only player that I think, for me, could still do a job at Leeds. Particularly in that position that we need that sort of position, that central attacking midfielder, the cam role, number 10 role, which that's the one he would be playing. I think he should have stayed, really. I mean, he's talking about it in that interview, said it was like the best step for his career, playing Champions League, playing Bundesliga. It hasn't worked out properly. He got sent off, didn't he? I think in either his on his debut or maybe his second game of playing for Union, just hasn't really been able to break into their team. Says he's no bitterness towards Leeds United. He still tries to keep in touch with his friends, as he put it, and support his friends. He says it's awesome to see them doing well. He texted Somerville last week for his birthday, he said, didn't he? So still in contact with some of the guys. But yeah, for me, like I said, he's probably the only one that I could see. And I would take Aaronson back into the team. I know a lot of bitterness and a lot of disappointment, and I was the same for a lot of these players that played with us last season. But he spoke up for how hard it was for him, and that he was so focused on trying to score goals and get assists that sort of almost forgot his general play. It still needed to be decent in order for that to happen. Yeah, sounds like he struggled a little bit, as most of the team did And for me, yeah, thinking about it now, he's one of the only ones that I'd probably have back. He seems to think there isn't an issue and that he could seem to stroll back into to Leeds and just play after having a season away at Union Berlin, playing in the Bernabeu against Real Madrid, where we're rocking up against, I can't remember who were playing on the same night as he played in the Bernabeu, but yeah, we were playing that night. And you think, well, maybe you should stay with your parent team and whatever, but maybe he thought this at that stage that he was maybe, look, if a championship team, if a Champions League team comes in from you for you, and you're looking like you're going to play in the championship, you go, don't you? Let's be honest. But for me, I wouldn't mind seeing him back at Leeds next season. If that, I don't think he'll be coming back if we don't get promoted. But if we get promoted, like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But if we get promoted, I don't see an issue with him coming back in. One of the very few that I wouldn't see an issue with, and one of the very few that I do actually think still has a future at Leeds. If like I said, it all depends on if we get promoted. But yeah, a lot of the other players out on loan are never coming back. But it's an interesting debate. It was interesting read, to be fair, on the Athletic, that interview. So go and have a look at it if you haven't already. But yeah, I do think Aaronson, all can be forgiven for me. I'm no ill feeling towards him. To be fair, I just think he needs to play a bit better. You know what I mean? I think, to be fair, I think he would have benefited from a season in the Championship because it's obviously going down the toilet for him in Berlin at Union Berlin. He isn't playing as much. The team are on a horrific sort of winless streak at the moment. It's similar to what we were on, to be fair, last season, and maybe he could have done with some kind of, he says he's a positive character and all that, but maybe he could have done with some positive football, really. And I think he would have got that in the Championship under Fark. I think he really would have, like the rest of them, I think he really would have cooked pretty nicely in this division. But there you go. It was his choice, and that's that. But let me know in your comments what you're thinking about that Aaronson interview and your thoughts on him potentially coming back to Leeds next season. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. As always, thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you on the next one. Marching on together.